look, you can bitch and moan, and I get it because it's Mussolini, it's mask Mussolini time. Really, I would love people to go live in Myanmar right now, and then come back and then kind of recalibrate your reaction to a mandate that you wear a mask when you go into inside in a public place. But nonetheless, I know you don't like it. But in any event, cases are up. They're not shutting down any sectors of the economy. I guess it's a valid way to look at it to say they shouldn't do anything. Just complete laissez-faire and just let whatever's going to happen. But that's where we are now. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is where it's going to get ugly. Okay, because I've been looking at all the reactions on social media, the discussions, people in front of the gym on Saturday morning when it hadn't even taken effect yet. And there's always that, like, there's people who come to the front door before it's open.
Oh, yeah.
They start maybe 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
And I don't do that. I wait till it opens and people go in, and then I go in because it's boring. It's boring to just stand there.
And it's 10 extra minutes of sleep, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I got accosted on Saturday.
Oh.
I'm pulling up to park, and there's this guy walking, like, oh, here's some guy walking to the gym, whatever. And he looks at me, locks eyes with me.
Uh-oh.
And I have a bad attitude, so in my mind I'm like, what the F are you looking at? It's full on De Niro in Taxi Driver in my mind. And then he starts walking towards me.
Uh-oh.
What could this be? So I roll down the window, and it turns out it's a guy who has a mountain bike and wants a bike rack and has noticed my bike rack previously, but has never had an opportunity to approach me about what bike rack is this and do you like it? And that's all it was. So then we're talking, and then we ended up walking towards the gym, and I did end up standing in front of that unopened gym for like a minute. And there were about 10 people there, and these are all strangers, and they're all like, oh, man, the masks are back. Is it really? Do they have to do it? Wow. I'm glad that people have such uneventful lives with such low levels of responsibility and problems that they can be completely preoccupied with the fact that the mask mandate is back. 7 o'clock, it gets ugly as hell on this show. Because looking at all the reactions, y'all are leading yourselves into a massive trap. And I'm not talking about, there'll be more cases and people will die. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your own twisted logic, and we're going to see just how committed you are to your way of thinking.
I'm intrigued.
Well, you should be. Hey, let's get a news update from Jennifer Jones-Lee, and then we will continue handle on the news. It's KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
A guy in Florida is about to become the first person sentenced for a felony in January's attack at the Capitol. Paul Hodgkins pleaded guilty last month. He was seen in photos carrying a red Trump 2020 flag inside the Senate chamber. The Hubble Space Telescope's up and running again after engineers fixed a computer glitch. And President Biden is set to welcome the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tomorrow, 5 months after they won the Super Bowl. It'll be the first White House visit by a Super Bowl champion team since 2017. We'll take a look at your drive with the KFI in the sky and check the 5 next.
A ball, right field, and it is gone. A grand slam home run for Matt Muncy. Catch rivalry baseball, and take home some new Dodger gear on Thursday, July 22nd, as the Dodgers take on the Giants for the last time at home this regular season. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will also receive a short-sleeve hooded sweatshirt presented by San Manuel Casino. To purchase tickets and see the full promotional schedule, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Amco presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that Amco's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that Amco offers a nationwide warranty.
Are you still driving around with that check engine light on? Amco will read and report the trouble codes on your vehicle for free. Call them today.
That's Amco, AA, MCO.
Have you received your free AAA full picture quote? It gives you a 360-degree view of your auto insurance quote, from premiums to coverages to discounts. Visit AAA.com/insurance to see how much you could save.
SoCal weather from KFI. Partly cloudy today and highs from the 70s to right around 100. This report is brought to you by the Auto Club of Southern California. Let's take a look at your drive now on the 5.
Well, you betcha. If you were with us last time around here, this southbound 5 around Burbank, Magnolia, sure enough, we went up there and looked around and it went over to the shoulder out Verdugo. So coming down from the 170, you're going to be okay. All down to the 134, no problem there. If you're leaving South LA, now we're getting words from CHP, there's something a little mysterious going on. Just be heads up. First, northbound 110 at Manchester, that's north of the 105. I'm sure you know that if you do it every morning. And south 110 around the 105. But a fire off the freeway has been reported, a lot of smoke blowing around, so just be careful. We'll check that out for you. But as I speak to you now, we're orbiting over the North 5 just before the 2. There's a couple of drivers and cars. Oh, there's a van down there. Oh, now there's 4 cars in the center divider, barely. It's about a half a center divider, actually. So it's real slow but moving up towards the 2 freeway. But north of the 2, you're still in pretty good shape up to Burbank. We're getting busy out here. Please be careful. Incident and accident. Visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by the California Labor and Workforce Development Agency. California's updated COVID-19 prevention rules for the workplace no longer require physical distancing or barriers at work, except under certain circumstances. To learn more about these updates, visit saferatwork.ca.gov.
I know that you've heard it's a seller's market right now when it comes to houses, right? And so you put in some work into your house. I know we probably put $50,000 worth of repairs into our house, carpeting and painting and all of that kind of stuff before we sold it. And then you start thinking about, wait a minute, maybe I got a great price for my house, but that's minus 50 grand and all the hassle and headache that comes along with fixing up your house when you sell it. Stop thinking that way. I wish we had known about Open Door when we were selling our house. See, Open Door takes all of that unnecessary crummy stuff off selling your home. When it comes to the prep work, no doing repairs, no scheduling all those walkthroughs. See, when you go to opendoor.com, all you do is put in your address, tell them a little bit about your house, and boom, they make you an offer in minutes. And they compare the comps in the neighborhoods. They come up with a real competitive offer. And I thought, okay, I need to see what I was missing out on. So I went to opendoor.com and I got an offer for my house that was way more than I ever expected. So what do you have to lose? Sell your home the new-fashioned way. Get your free offer at opendoor.com/myoffer. Offer eligibility varies. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage, Inc., license number 020611130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage, LLC in its other markets. Sell your home the new-fashioned way. Check it out. opendoor.com/myoffer.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Save up to $1,000 on select Sleep Number 360 Smart Beds and adjustable bases, plus special financing, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Neil Saavedra here. About 3 years ago, my wife and I called American Vision Windows. They installed gorgeous French doors for us, changed the flow of our home, added architectural appeal. The next project they're doing, our kitchen windows. We can't wait. Their work is meticulous. It's outstanding. I recommended them to my brother, Craig, and now he and his family have a lovely window-encased patio, added 150 sunny square feet to their home. We all know Bill and Kathleen's story. They had a horrible experience replacing their own windows. They started their own company. Fast forward 20 years later, they continue to beautify homes like mine with personal care, complete professionalism, and attention. CSLB number 778326. Give you and your home the gift of light, warmth, and beauty. Trust the window company my family trusts. American Vision Windows. You'll see the difference. Call American Vision Windows today for that free estimate. 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or for specials, visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
When it comes to looking out for your business, Bay Alarm brings the best. Like professionally monitored video verification, proven to catch crooks. Because if your security's not the best, you're not secure. Now, more than ever, Bay Alarm. ACO 28CCL 880138.
Reopenings here, and the old Roaring 20s are the new Roaring 21s. I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki of 1-800-NO-CUPS. It's been too long for us all. So if you're going out on the town, be safe. And remember, no one looks good in handcuffs, unless you're into that sort of thing. 1-800-NO-CUPS.
Attorney Joe Cordell. For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss. You feel adrift, isolated, like you're the only person in the world. But the good news is, you're not alone. Cordell & Cordell is here to help. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has been there to guide men through all aspects of divorce. And we'll be there for you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's California area attorneys. 1455 Crazy Road, Suite 500, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, it's Conway here. Are you looking to sell your home quick because the community you're living in right now, well, just isn't working for you? Well, you can sell your home with no showings, no realtors, no cleaning, and no making upgrades when you sell with Sunday. Sunday is going to buy your home as is for the best possible price and very flexible timeline as well. They can close in as quick as 10 days, or they have the flexibility to close in months if that's what you're looking for. They can give you a $20,000 cash advance when you sell with Sunday. Zero fees when you sell with Sunday. They help you sell your home off market for the highest price, and they make it very easy. And they've been featured everywhere. CNN, Business Insider, CNBC. 5-star reviews everywhere you look online. Go to sundae.com, SUNDAE.com. 825-OFFER, that's 825-OFFER, and get a free, no obligation cash offer. Sunday.com.
Start your future at a California community college. Financial aid is available to help with tuition, books, and sometimes even the rent. It's time to take the next big step. Classes can fill up quickly, so enroll today at icangotocollege.com.
You don't like Pride and Prejudice?
I'm not a huge Jane Austen fan.
All right.
I am not her demographic.
You're right. You stick to your World War II.
You got mad, though. It's like, you were upset.
Well, it's well written.
Jerry and Sharon. I didn't say it's not well written. I just said
Beautiful love story.
It's my thing.
Weekdays at 10 a.m.
I forgot that you don't like love.
on KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. It's a Bill Handel show. He's still out. You want to know what's going on with him? Twitter at Come On and Farce has an update for you. We are doing Handel on the News. It's Jennifer Jones-Lee and me.
All right, Sheriff Villanueva says, all right, I see that there's a mask mandate in my county, and it's not backed by science, so I'm not going to make my deputies enforce it. Again, the messaging.
Yes. Now, when he says not backed by science, he's specifically referring to making vaccinated people wear masks. I don't believe he questions the wisdom of unvaccinated people wearing masks.
Right. I did not feel that either, because he specifically said that this science contradicts the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, for the CDC, forcing those who are vaccinated and already contracted COVID-19 to wear the masks. And in a way, he said, look, we're not going to expend our limited resources to enforce the order. And instead, the department is asking for voluntary compliance. Then I don't know if you've heard his cuts from when he actually made these comments. Then he went off on Gascon.
Yeah, well, yes. Because he has many fish that he is frying.
He said, hey, look, if Gascon won't even, the LA County DA, if he won't even prosecute criminal cases that I am bringing to him, why in the world would he prosecute a mask wearer or lack thereof?
There he has a point. He also has the absolute discretion to say we're not going to enforce it. And people right now who are like, yeah, Sheriff Villanueva, yeah, get ready. Get ready for later when we talk about DACA. Okay, because you might get bit in the butt. The Surgeon General of the United States is worried about what is to come as these cases spike nationwide. Dr. Vivek Murthy basically is playing the doom and gloom card because cases are going up, and even though he reiterates if you're vaccinated, you're well protected against hospitalization and death, notice he's not saying you can't get it. But if you're not vaccinated, then you are not protected against hospitalization and death. So now it's a waiting game. How many unvaccinated people are going to get it? How many unvaccinated people are going to be in the hospital? And how many are going to die? We don't know yet.
All right, I have one bit of information to add to this next story. We have just learned this morning that an unidentified member of the gymnastics team for the U.S. has tested positive for COVID-19. This person is in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They're not saying exactly who it is, but that comes out this morning after yesterday we found out that Coco Gauff, the tennis player, tested positive for COVID-19 and won't compete in the Olympics.
And there are two South African soccer players who were the first Olympic athletes in the village to test positive. So they already have a problem.
There are 50 confirmed cases now linked to the games as of this morning.
Oh, boy. Well, there was a shooting right outside Nationals Park. Nationals playing the Padres in D.C. And it was bedlam inside because, as you might imagine, nobody knew where the shots were coming from. People scrambling all over the place. But it was an incident that happened outside on the street. Two cars shooting at each other. And one of the heroes of the thing, I mean, nobody inside got shot, obviously, but still one of the heroes is Fernando Tatis Jr., who when the shots started happening, people started panicking, he ran off the bench and he opened up a gate so that people could come to the dugout to take shelter.
Okay, that's awesome.
You know, good for him.
He must be a really good guy. I don't remember if it was a news story or if it was just a clip from a game, but there was a young boy in the stands, looked maybe, 9 or 10, right? And he said he was holding a sign that said bucket list, beat whatever type of cancer he had.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 was go to a Padres game, and number 3 was to get a picture with Tatis Jr.
Oh.
And he came over out of the dugout to take a picture with this little boy.
I
was like, that's cool.
And then they had to finish the game on Sunday, and the Padres smoked them.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. All right, we'll do more Handle on the News after a news update from Jennifer Jones-Lee. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Health officials say the average number of new cases of COVID-19 is increasing in the U.S. and millions of people are still unvaccinated. Dean at Brown University School of Public Health, Dr. Ashish Jha, says it looks like COVID is here to stay.
Everybody is either going to end up at some point getting vaccinated or they're going to end up getting infected. People really have to be very careful out there if you're unvaccinated. And the best way to protect yourself is to get the shot.
He says very few people who are vaccinated end up in the hospital or dying. News is brought to you by the Cunning Dental Group. A new study shows that in the booming housing market, a lot of homeowners are choosing to renovate rather than sell their homes. The study by DeWalt shows 2/3 of homeowners are planning renovations, Professional builder Kyle Stumpenhorst says that's both good and bad.
The thing that's going on right now is homes are selling faster than they can even be put on the market. They're selling for more than what they're even being asked for. And this is leaving people with little option but to do a home renovation.
Stumpenhorst says that's putting more pressure on contractors who are having a hard time keeping up with all the work. The Biden administration has transferred a detainee out of Guantanamo Bay for the first time. A Moroccan man was sent home today, years after being recommended for discharge. The Pentagon says its review process has found he didn't need to be detained any longer to protect U.S. national security. There are still 39 prisoners in Guantanamo. 2 Americans have been sentenced to prison terms in Japan for helping the former chairman of Nissan, Carlos Ghosn, get out of the country before his trial started. Ghosn hid in a box and was flown in a private jet to Turkey to Lebanon in December of 2019. He was arrested in 2018 on financial misconduct charges. The American father and son charged with helping the criminal have been sentenced to 2 years and a 1-year, 8-month term, respectively. And a man in Florida has allegedly gotten away with stealing candles by spraying people with bear repellent.
CNN reports at least 30 people were injured during the robbery. About 15 of the victims were employees of a Bath and Body Works store at Miami International Mall. The man was allegedly last seen leaving the mall in a taxi. The suspected thief reportedly could face between 30 to 35 felonies. Claudette Stefanian, KFI News.
Let's take a look at your drive on the 5 again.
You betcha, boy. New problems here. This is the one we're circling over right now. This is the North 5 before the Glendale Freeway, right around the Stadium Way area. But city fires, Aracha, unfortunately, person surge here, so a lot of activity. It's the center divider and left lane, and at times, more are going to be blocked here to get this out of your way. Now, the North 5 always slow drive coming up from the East LA interchange. This time of the morning especially, it's just getting slower and slower. As a matter of fact, it's slow up to around the 110, but then everything comes to a stop. So really, it really slow coming up. If you're around the 110, San Fernando Road up to the 2 is good. If you're around the East LA interchange, North 101, it's far from wide open. That's for sure. But I can vouch for north of the 4 level, it's in pretty good shape. To Whittier, getting reports on North 605 around Beverly Boulevard, a fire there. North 5 up around Western, north of the 134 as you continue into Burbank. Again, another problem. And boy, this doesn't sound good at all if you're coming out of Acton right now. South 14 around Agua Dulce, something going on. We'll check out all these for you. Do not go away. Injured in an accident, visit superwoman.superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the sky.
The new COVID relief bill pays businesses up to $10,000 in tax rebates per employee per quarter. And if you receive PPP money, your business likely qualifies. Trouble is figuring out how to get your hands on the money. InnovationRefunds.com got me and my partner a 6-figure refund. I mean, they're good. Their world-class CPAs crack the code on how to access these tax rebates. They do the legwork and share a percentage of the cash they get back for you. Over 6,000 businesses, over $450 million. Now, this is $10,000 per employee per quarter. Go to InnovationRefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer a few questions. InnovationRefunds.com. No risk. It's a high reward. They certainly help me, and they can help you too. That's InnovationRefunds.com, InnovationRefunds.com.
SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Has a range from the 70s at the beaches, 80s for Metro LA and OC, upper 90s to right around 100 for the valleys and the IE. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Hi, Don. I'm a helpful Southern California Honda person, and I'm calling to give you a random act of helpfulness.
Wow!
We heard you'd like help getting something for a veterans organization.
I work for the nonprofit. Homeless veterans are referred to us. We help them to get back into society and to get into permanent housing. Barbecuing is something they love to do as a group, so I've been trying to get them one, but there are no extra funds for those type of things.
Well, Honda would like to help. We're going to get them that grill.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I'm just so excited. I've got shakes and chills.
Today we help some veterans, and we can help you too. Right now you can get 0% APR financing on an award-winning Honda SUV, like the 2021 Pilot. Visit SoCalHondaDealers.com to find a helpful Honda dealer near you. For well-qualified buyers on approved credit through Honda Financial Services, Dawn is a real person and must pay to be on the radio.
Find the employees you need to get your business moving. Sign up with iHeartAdBuilder.com and create a custom radio ad to reach job seekers listening to stations just like this one. Get started today at iHeartAdBuilder.com.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot loan officer and ask about our 27-year Smart Term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling 866-888-LOAN or visit LoanDepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Good kids sometimes make bad choices. But with the support of caring adults, their futures hold great potential. Find out how you can help a young person on probation at foreverfriendsla.org.
Call Service Champions for their $88 professional AC tune-up at 833-777-7777.
For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules.
KFI would like to thank the Radio and Television News Association for making KFI News the winningest news outlet in Southern California.
KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
An iHeart radio station.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Good morning. It's a Bill Handel show. The morning crew is here, and we're doing Handel on the News with Jennifer Jones Lee and me.
There's a resource center that is supposed to help the victims of that big fireworks explosion in South LA, and it opens today. It will open at 3 o'clock at the YMCA on East 28th Street. And remember, this is that big explosion that happened June 30th when cops were trying to detonate all those illegal fireworks and the IEDs that they found. And it ended up being so big when they tried to detonate them, it blew up that detonation truck that they had them in. And so you had all these people who recently were complaining, hey, we need help. We had our windows blown out. We've got shrapnel in our doors. We've got all kinds of stuff. And finally, they're stepping up.
Well, I think there was another resource center, and this is the second one that's had to be opened because there's so many people who still haven't been made whole, who still are struggling. You know, these are people who had to spend their paychecks to replace the kitchen table that got destroyed, etc. So this is an incident community resource center. And you can file a claim, you can get mental health referrals, wellness referrals, and other supportive services. And it just shows the impact of that event.
Oh, yeah.
That you still have people who aren't anywhere near back to normal. Well, I guess the ride itself was not exciting enough for one guy who climbed to the top of the Supreme Screen ride at Knott's Berry Farm. So the police had to come out, and the fire authority had to come out, and they had to shut down almost all the rides for a while. And then he finally came down. Then they took him to the hospital for evaluation. If I am not mistaken, and I'm sure, I don't know if there's as many Knott's Berry Farm heads as there are Disney dweebs, but if you are a Knott's Berry Farm fanatic, then you might be able to correct me. I think the trip up that ride to the top is about 300 feet. And it was not built to make it easy to climb up to the top of the ride. So I guess kudos to the guy for his Spider-Man-like prowess.
All right, the LAPD made a bunch of arrests on Saturday after there was this protest outside a spa in Koreatown, and it was all over transgender rights. And so there were protesters who came out to protest against transgender access to the spa's facility. Then you had counter-protesters showed up. So then you had the LAPD show up, and videos that are on social media show police in riot gear start shooting beanbound rags of the foam projectiles at protesters. And so it's interesting. I watched the video last night because it said that one guy specifically was hit at close range. Imagine though, all the other protesters are back. So they clearly have taken the riot gear police just showed up, I'm going to back off.
Right.
There was one guy who charged at the cops. That was the guy who was hit.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
This has been going on a while, these protests in front of this spa. And I don't know how this is going to resolve itself, because the spa is saying we have to be inclusive. And so if you have somebody who identifies as a woman, even though they might appear as a man and have male genitalia, we're going to let them come into this women's spa. And then you have most of the other customers who are saying, like, in theory, that's fine, inclusion and all of that, but if I'm here with my daughter and somebody comes in here and there's a penis, that's a problem. So the first thing is, here's the thing. So then just don't go there anymore.
Yeah. I think if I'm ever uncomfortable at a spa, don't go there.
Go, and then whatever happens, happens. But this idea that you're going to show up every day and harass the business, I don't know what the point of that is.
And isn't it more effective not to go there? Convince your friends and neighbors not to go there. The business makes no money. The business shuts down.
Or you can protest all the time and bring this issue to the attention of the community, and then the spa can replace the we don't want a trans person in here customers with people who are cool with it. And then what have you accomplished as well? Not that I totally understand the level of discomfort.
Oh my God.
Particularly if you have young girls who are with their mothers or their older sisters in the spa, and somebody comes in and...
I, as a 45-year-old woman, would be shocked.
I am not in any way devaluing the level of discomfort that these people are feeling. Tactics are a different subject, though. Oh, this is a sad story. Matt George was the co-host of a pretty popular podcast called She Rates Dogs. Are you familiar with this podcast?
I'm not. It's a dating podcast, but immediately when I saw it, I went, She Rates Dogs? Wait, what?
Well, it started as a social media account where they would post screen captures of texts, basically guys being real jerks with women. And then it turned into a podcast. So in this case, the dogs in She Rates Dogs refers to these gross men.
Right.
Okay, so it's all about, terrible dating stories and stuff like that. And he was killed in a hit and run near the Beverly Center, 26 years old. He was crossing the street, and a white BMW, boom, and just didn't stop. Obviously didn't render aid or identify themselves because they didn't even stop. And he was pronounced dead at the scene. Cops are fairly good at solving hit and runs.
Especially around the Beverly Center, there's going to be more cameras.
There's going to be a lot
to do it.
Yeah. So they'll find who it was. There's one part of the story that's interesting to me, because they're saying that he was walking on Croft Avenue in an unmarked crosswalk. Unmarked crosswalk. Is it a crosswalk if there are no markings, or is it just an intersection?
I wondered the same thing. I don't know what
they're getting at, I guess, by saying that.
Also, this happens...
Unless it's designated by a sign, like on a pole on the sidewalk, crosswalk, but there are no markings on the street.
Or was it one of those crosswalks that doesn't have the flashing...
I don't know what they mean, and I wonder if he was well, I don't know. Was he crossing like in the middle of a block? Not that it doesn't excuse